A second down throw for Young. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Lucky 56.
Here's Steve Young on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After the incompletion, here now, third and two.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, it's Young. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Snatched by the safety, Ed Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Tomlinson again, a first down carry. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Lucky 56.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. 1st and 10, Young. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They get it to him running left. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run. Tomlinson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They're running. Tomlinson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. LaDainian Tomlinson taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
On first down, it's McNabb going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's McNabb into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Here's Young. Wide open receiver, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A first down throw for Young. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Moss. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down is Young. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Steve Young. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. From the shotgun, it's Young. Tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Time to establish the run game here, Gurley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, McNabb. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And the drive will start with a carry by LaDainian Tomlinson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Young. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look for the first with Tomlinson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. This is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Gurley again here on 1st down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Gold is able to put it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go! Blue Lanny! Blue Lanny! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Young drops this off to Tomlinson, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now Young. Hard throw, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now McNabb. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, McNabb dumps it off to Gurley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We've had some wild Super Bowl finishes recently. 49 in Arizona, 51 in Houston, now this one. And as he sees the play clock ticking down, Marvin Lewis decides to call a timeout, as he'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Gold is able to put it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Moss. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
And this one caught by Travis Kelce. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout.
go! What? None? What? None?
Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They ain't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shawty claims she a feminist.